First bounce in the qualifying final at Football Park for 1985. Norwood going to the northern or lake end of Football Park. And an initial scrimmage.
Surprising that Peter Carey's in the pocket and Wayne Henwood is the ruckman.
Henwood to contest with Hine, the latter wins. Now Taylor trying to work it clear. Hine can by hand to Ace. Ace at half forward. Pops it over short. Oh, so close for Payne. Still Norwood with a chance. Michael Annie way offline.
Well, we saw yesterday in the elimination final a comedy of errors, and Norwood inexplicably starting with nerves.
Michael Annie behind a big punch from Seabohm. So still in the forward pocket for Norwood. No score, and we've played a minute.
A lot of players converged in that pocket. High hand pass to no one in particular. Oh, Maynard. Finally, the kick comes out towards half-back for Glenelg. Jenkins was first there, but there'll be a throw-in.
And Maynard and McIntosh all but colliding.
Left half forward for Norwood. The height of Michael Annie. Marshall in the way. Michael Aish at left half forward. No one's at home for Norwood, but Russell gives for the Tigers. Over the Hall. Hall straightening, coming back to the grandstand side. Henwood. Henwood half-back.
Big Wayne Henwood. To centre wing. Kernahan's in the middle of the pack. Michael Aish. Oh, didn't have it. They're in the free kick.
Undisciplined play then by Alan Stringer. Absolutely unnecessary.
Short to Taylor. Out wide to Jenkins. Looking for someone at half forward. Gibbs again. Good mark.
Well, the style of the man, calm, collected, loose in defence almost, and reading the play perfectly.
Electing to take the punt back towards centre. Behind was Warhurst. Kept the tackle by Stephen Kernahan. Hellier, good tackle by Murphy, gives Stephen Kernahan a chance. Over to Carey, electing to go long. Looking for Garton. But McGuinness with a pace. Good walk around Ross. Trying to also do the same on Barn. Good mark, Carey.
Well, what superb play, Peter Carey. He was the player who took the ball into the forward line. McGuinness centred the ball, and Carey had run 50 metres to the square to stand tall and take the mark.
It'll be the opening score. We've played 3 minutes, and it should be a major to the Tigers. They lead by 6 points, 3.5 minutes first term.
First blood in the qualifying final going Glenelg's way. Now the chance for McIntosh. Pretty high. I think he can take that though. Now McIntosh. To half forward. O'Dwyer in the middle of that pack. Michael Annie trying to work it clear, but he's been penalised. Holding the ball.
Good quick tackling by Peter Maynard. Glenelg turned on and looking good.
Maynard. Very, very long. Looking for Steen at Kernahan. Through the Holmes. Support from Alan Stringer. Going short for Carey. Opponent is went up. Good play over to Stephen Kernahan. Towards the pocket. Looking for Garden. Mark has been paid in the forward pocket.
Well, some dispute as to whether Peter Carey flipped that hand out, ball out with the open hands, but certainly the big fella got it forward, and Garton shoots.
With the assistance of a light breeze, but it's the angle that could be the problem. First poster, 7 points to lead to the Tigers.
5 minutes of play gone. Glenelg 7 points lead Norwood yet to score. Hellier. Close attention there from Copping. Hellier just in front of the scoreboard. Oh, Indecision. So goes to Gallagher. Short to centre wing. This is Taylor. 15-metre penalty against Marshall. And Taylor to half forward. No Dwyer getting it out into the open. Greg Thomas right on the boundary line. Duthie got it out to Gibbs. Well done, Glenelg. To David Kernahan at left half back.
Come on, let's pick him up.
Not quite sure. Then forced to put it high. Stephen Kernahan, the long run up. Maynard's down. Warhurst. Good dive. Call from Gallagher. No free kick. Carriage from Taylor. And I think he's got the free kick. Too high.
Well, as expected, lots of hands and knees football. Michael Taylor looks forward.
Taylor up towards the pocket. O'Dwyer's in the middle. Big punch from Duthie. Crumbs to Payne. Favouring the helmet today. Opening score for Norwood are behind. They trail by 6 points. We've played 7 minutes.
Ross Gibbs puts the ball back into play. This is Duthie. Left back pocket. Almost up towards centre wing. One hand to Kernahan.
Well, he's in top form. He's closely ridden by Warhurst. That'll be a duel to watch. Whoever gets on top could determine the game.
To half forward, Copping. Not quite. The follow-up. Out wide to Simons. From 35 metres. Looks good. Glenelg have their second. 2-1-13 the Tigers. Norwood 1 behind.
Well, it looked for a moment as if David Marshall was going to go alone, but at the corner of eye he had Tony Simons. Simons superb inside half forward for Glenelg. The running kick on line, his first goal.
Bounce from umpire field. Favouring Henwood. That's the call from Alan Stringer. Runs into Brother Wayne. Emerges again. Murphy to Henwood. Handball to Wayne Stringer. Out to Hall. Good team play by Glenelg. Over to Maynard. Loves to run and bounce. He's almost to half forward. Stephen Kernahan's loose. Goes for home. Just offline. They're second behind. And they lead by 13 points.
12 minutes of play gone in the qualifying final. Glenelg 2-2 lead Norwood 1 behind. Henwood the knock on. There's Jenkins for Norwood. To Gallagher at centre half forward. Bad fumble. He's got plenty of time. Doesn't know where to go. To Duthie. Out wide to Hall. To centre wing. Henwood's underneath it. So too Maynard. But Henwood took it. Gave it out wide. This is McGuinness. In towards Carey. One hand. Winter the second hand. Plenty of weight being thrown around and a push going Glenelg's way. 15-metre penalty. And tempers flared down there. But Glenelg with the free kick. Going Copping's way.
Stephen Copping across centre wing quickly recovered his position into the pocket to win the free, and the move of Carey to the pocket is working well in the first 15 minutes.
From 20 metres. Copping doesn't miss those. Glenelg get their third. 3-2-20, leading Norwood 1 point.
14 minutes first term. Glenelg by 19 points. Hine with height advantage. Rowed by McGuinness. Beautiful pass to Stephen Kernahan. Wants to hand pass Maynard, who's dropped down the ground. Another one to McGuinness with pace. 30 metres out. He's online. Sensational football by the Tigers. They lead by 25 points.
Well, McGuinness was everywhere. He took the ball out of the centre and then ran through half forward as Peter Maynard took and gave the reflex hand pass. Just got clear of his opponent, McGuinness. Settled, and what a tremendous snap. Norwood playing much closer now at the neutral ball, playing man for man.
Hine and Henwood was up too early. There's a trip. Norwood's free kick. And out of that big infringement, Michael Taylor. Michael Annie the target. The back though Gibbs, reliable defender. Marshall setting. Warhurst over the top of Marshall. Out wide, Keith Thomas. High towards O'Dwyer. Thump away from Duthie. Now Greg Thomas into the pocket. He's picked out Payne. Decides to have a look at the goals, but Hall's there for Glenelg.
There's the old formula, without Roberts, there's no one to kick to, and Norwood are blasting.
Henwood at half-back, done very well in the first term, although he slips and McIntosh gets the free kick.
And that's the first error that Glenelg have made.
McIntosh centering. It's Taylor. Another short one. Marked by Winter. Just checking up in defence also. He's at centre-half forward. Going to the pocket. Long lead by Michael Aish. Opponent is Hall. Call from Greg Thomas. Looks for the lead from O'Dwyer. Very important kick as the interchange. Motlop comes on. Henwood off. Norwood need the opening goal. It's not. Lucky to be behind. They've got 2. That's 2 points. Glenelg have got 26 points. And we played 18 minutes.
This time it's John Seabohm. Oh, out wide. Lucky if anyone touches it. They do through Marshall. Kept in play well to Alan Stringer. Now decides to wobble it up the centre wing, but finds his target. That's Maynard. Quickly goes on with it towards Stephen Kernahan on the break at half forward. Over the top to Copping. They'll close in on goal from 35 metres. Top goal Glenelg. The Tigers on fire as Copping kicks his second. Glenelg 5-2, 32, leading Norwood 2 behind.
After 19 minutes, the Tigers by 30 points. Carey against Button. And pass to Taylor. It was meant for Jarvis. Marshall's in the way. Maynard streaming with it. Loves to bounce. Almost a half forward. A long hand pass to McGuinness. Good look at the goals. It's another one. His second. The Tigers 6th. And they lead by 36 points.
It looked as if Michael Taylor would get clear, but the interception was Peter Maynard. He bounced the ball through the half-forward line, set up McGuinness with a long hand pass. The Bays look good as the Rover kicks his second.
Glenelg 38, Norwood 2. The scoreline at the 19.5-minute mark, first term. Aish. The Redlegs need to do something. This is Jarvis. Out wide, kick downfield, going Payne's way.
And that's the pressure from Glenelg.
Payne in short into the pocket to Aish. They really have to work it when they get forward. Norwood, things not happening easily.
Well, the angle looks acute, but the wind, not a breath in that area. Michael Aish within distance.
Not a bad-looking kick from Aish. It's squeezed in. So Norwood had their first. Norwood 1-2, trailing badly against Glenelg, 6-2. The Tigers start the second quarter leading by 25 points. Now David Kernahan sending them forward straight away. Copping in front of Hellier. And Hellier conceding 15. Kernahan drifting into the open.
That's the difference between the two teams. Glenelg more effective in the forward line, particularly because of Stephen Copping, who is on top of Rowan Hellier. Stephen Kernahan certainly within scoring distance.
Yet to kick a goal, Stephen Kernahan. This time, though, from only 30 metres. Soon changes that. Glenelg scored their first goal of the second term within the opening minute. And they move on to 8-4. 52, leading Norwood 3-3-21.
Henwood favoured by the bounce. Does well. Gallagher the opportunity. Tackled by Stephen Kernahan. Warhurst. Superb dive by McDermott, putting the body in, but it does come out to Norwood through Hine. Trying to get away from Marshall. McDermott's kept going. And the free kick has gone to Marshall. A bit of a scuffle between Alan Stringer and Gallagher. The free kick will go to the Tigers.
Glenelg far more desperate, more physical, and it's paying off.
Marshall. Got a lead from Garton. He's ignored that. It's gone short for Copping. Chipping is the Redleg captain, Michael Aish at centre-half back.
With the 8 of 15 metres, decides to give it by hand or Jarvis. Not a good hand pass from Jarvis. Got away from Jenkins. Now Simon's first to it. Jarvis with him. Kept in play, but only as far as Ross for Norwood. Gallagher, too high for him. Taken by Maynard. In towards full forward. In front, Hellier.
Well, it's not often that Norwood can be bustled into errors, and it's happening with the Bays.
Lead by Winter, down from the back pocket. And the mark is Alan Stringer. Between half-back and wing, grandstand side. Glenelg by 31 points. Strong mark taken by Murphy. The opponent was Payne. Too high. Better positioning. Plenty of options. Wayne Stringer gets away just from Neagle. No, he doesn't have to call in Maynard, in fact, towards centre. Offhand, so it'll be play on. Simons, sharking is Jarvis. Gallagher. Helwell not in possession, so free kick goes to the Norwood defender at centre-half back. The Redlegs trail by 31 points.
Jarvis gives it plenty of height towards Michael Annie. Thumped away by Seabohm. Here's McIntosh. Out wide to Taylor, through half forward. Looks good. Great goal to the Redlegs. They need plenty of them. Norwood 4-3, trailing Glenelg 8-4.
Centre-half forward Jim Michaelani in front. The ball forced away to McIntosh. Ran through, gave the ball to Michael Taylor on the overlap. And Taylor, playing as a follower, straightened on line. That's a top goal to Mike Taylor.
4-minute mark of the second term. Glenelg by 25 points. Henwood. Alan Stringer left it behind. Hines kept going. Over to Michael Aish. Low. Awkward for Thomas. Punted his Hall. Gets the call from Wayne Stringer. Thumps it very, very high and towards the centre. McDermott's got to wait. Kept the eyes right on the football.
It's a well-judged mark. Straight up, straight down.
Hawking McIntosh, switching the side. McGuinness battling with Ross. The Redleg wins out.
Sees McIntosh on centre wing. The pass up towards Payne. Back to McIntosh with the run. Infield to Taylor. Centre half forward where he kicked the last one. Going close again. It's through. 2 goals on the run from round about the same spot in the space of a minute and a half to Michael Taylor. And Norwood 5-3, getting back a little bit on Glenelg 8-4.
Well, once again, it's the hard work of McIntosh in the centre and Taylor on the overlap that brings up Taylor's second within 2 minutes. Superb running through the half-forward line, the kick on line.
Glenelg 8-4-52, Norwood 5-3-33. Henwood against Tyne, won by the Redleg. Too high on Michael Aish. Grabman not in possession. Taylor had the ball. It'll got to go back to the Redleg captain. Aish towards centre-half forward. The lead from Michael Annie. Good mark, is it? Played on. It's with Thomas. 30 metres out. It's going to be close. Drifting away at the last moment. Norwood trail by 18 points.
Norwood's little men eclipsed in the first quarter, now looking dangerous.
Duthie kicks it out towards the scoreboard flank. Hall. This is Maynard. Now Alan Stringer back to Hall. Through centre. Short. Too short there for Kernahan. To Simons. Now McGuinness. Good build-up for the Tigers from 35 metres. Deserved better. And I think McGuinness would be unhappy with himself. He's kicked 2, and he's kicked a lot more difficult goals than that.
Barn, lead from Thomas. It's away from Copping. Good lead by Gallagher. He's at centre half back. Bit of flow from the Redlegs. Hellier running through setup. Gets a good Shevin by McIntosh. Taylor's caught, gets free though. Hellier's kept going to centre half forward. 40 metres out. Bounce imported. Another behind. 18 points to lead to Glenelg.
Seven-minute mark of the second quarter. Ross to Keith Thomas, standing start to Greg Thomas, loose in the pocket. Oh, great kick. Magnificent kick, Greg Thomas. His first goal, and Norwood reduced the deficit to 2 goals, 6-5 to 8-5.
In the first 10 minutes, Norwood run riot. Michael Ace would have had words to Thomas if he'd missed, because Ace was perfectly placed for the hand pass with a better angle, but Greg Thomas across the shoulder off the right boot.
The Norwood supporters roar their approval. Carey's come back into the ruck. He wins the tap. Kernahan pushed out. Warhurst, free kick to Norwood. Almost in the setup. Over to Winter. Winter on the wing. Goes to centre half forward. A long lead from O'Dwyer. Off the hands of Henwood. Picked up by Michael Eddy. To Neagle. Looks across to McIntosh.
Great play, Jarvis. Was going to go on the right foot. Decided to turn back. McIntosh, who's been everywhere in the second quarter, set 25 metres out, almost right in front.
Offline. So 11 points to Glenelg.
Norwood have kicked 3 goals to 1 in the first 9 minutes of the second quarter to get within 11 points. Payne in front, takes it away from Seabow, straightens up and goes to the pocket. That was almost taken on the half volley, but Ace has got it.
David Payne lifted his helmet as Michael Ace dived for leg.
The angle is acute. Proves the better of Michael Ace, and it's 10 points the difference. Norwood 6-7, trailing Glenelg 8-5.
Real buzz around Football Park now. Seabourn kicks to the outer side. Carey knocked away from him by Hine. Gallagher back to Hine. The big fellow winds up. Good play by Glenelg's player. That's David Kernahan. It's with Simons. In the way is Jenkins. Make that Thomas for Gallagher. Centre half forward.
It's the little men from Norwood.
And look at the movement drifting into the spaces. Keith Thomas had come down the ground.
He's got Jenkins.
The former Redleg captain completes it. And Glenelg only leads by 4 points. 10.5 minutes, second term.
Keith Thomas did the hard work, picked up 2 quick kicks, was within scoring distance, but saw Danny Jenkins on his own in the pocket, and Jenkins took the mark and sealed the goal.
The Redlegs are back in it after trailing by 32 points early in the quarter, now just trail by 4. Gallagher gets away, has to go back though, the centre half back by hand. Taylor to the middle, Neagle with the thump there. Well done, Stringer. High ball from Jarvis. On top mark and defence for Glenelg. Doothy to Simons in the back pocket. McIntosh with him. 53 plays 49 at the 11.5 minute mark. Stephen Kernahan with Warhurst on centre wing. Jenkins. Alan Stringer trying to twist out. They're going down everywhere. Payne got it out wide to Gallagher. Puts it infield. Got him. Des O'Dwyer making the lead and accepting 50 metres from goal.
And what a superb kick from Philip Gallagher. He saw the lead and turned the right boot hard. O'Dwyer in the spot.
O'Dwyer has one, now has two. And for the first time since the opening, in fact the first time in the entire match, the Redlegs have hit the front. It's 8-7 to 8-5.
Much tighter play by the Glenelg defence, just slowing Norwood's run down.
Only 30 metres out from the Norwood goal, but taken away by McDermott to Simons. With Dash. It's down wide, Alan Stringer on the break. McIntosh trying to run him down. Half-forward Copping. McGuinness went without it. Lester Ross, but the umpire's whistle is blown, and Copping, who was contesting that mark with Hellier, paid the free kick. Between wing and half-forward. Puts it in towards centre half-forward. All Norwood at the fall of the ball. Hines for a leaving kick. Towards Hellier. Oh, bad hand pass allows Salisbury in. Gets the kick forward. Warhurst first there. Now McGuinness swooping. Maynard's fumble, but oh, a second fumble. Taylor to Keith Thomas. The Redlegs out of bother. Jenkins, good mark. On the break. He's got 100 metres up that centre wing. Goes long towards half-forward. Payne. But the knock away from Murphy. Oh, Glenelg are fumbling. Certainly not playing as they did in the first quarter. Payne. But umpire can intercepts.
What a superb game of football. Both sides really striving, one on top then the other, and forcing errors.
Carey down to McDermott. Simons having a great duel with his opponent Jenkins. Lead from Stephen Kernahan. Good lead, good disposal. He's right on the boundary line. Electing to put it high. Long run from Garton. The weight knocking it down to McGuinness. Got a bit of space. Not the third right foot. Garton goes back. The weight of the pack knocks it down to Jarvis. Hill when not in possession. Free kick Norwood.
Looked bad then for Norwood, but the big men were in positions and Hellier runs the ball wide looking for McIntosh.
Finds McIntosh but makes it awkward for him. Stringer forces the boundary throw in. Hine gets in front of Henwood. Now Marshall, cleverly done. Infield towards Copping. There's the Norwood mark though. The high flyers over the top of the pack. Craig Barnes.
Hasn't had a lot to do. The ball's not been in his area. But Craig Barnes really hit the pack.
Barnes goes towards Hine. Attempted knock away by Alan Stringer. Hasn't got enough height. So Hine at half back. Michael right in the middle. He wants to knock it on. Does cleverly for Payne. Payne's trying to keep it in. Long and constructive hand pass to Gallagher. Taylor runs past. Licks to chip it across. It's a long run for Greg Thomas. Bounce favours Taylor. Taylor at centre half forward. He's chased by Alan Stringer. Well played the Tiger. Ace went early. Hall's there. Good play the Tigers. Murphy. Now their turn. Ducey. Lead from Gibbs. Gibbs has Wayne Stringer with him. On the outer wing. Looks downfield for Kernahan, who's got a back from behind his Copping. McGuinness is down. In goes Stephen Kernahan. Warhurst goes to ground. Ball's come out. Hellier. Desperation football. Left behind by Jenkins. What a classic contest. And the ball's got towards the Glenelg goal square. They trail by 3 points.
And at this temperature, the players could not keep up the tempo. It's from one end to the other, and it's anybody's ball game.
The Redlegs by 3 points at the 18-minute mark of the second term. A goal will put them in front. Marshall decides to have a go at those goals. But he's offline. In fact, it is the Norwood mark to Winter.
Winter in trouble in the first quarter against Carey, has lifted in the second and gaining in confidence. invaluable experience.
Looking for somewhere to kick. Almost decided to put it to the outer side to Jenkins, but puts it up towards the timber there. Kernahan. Not the timber he was after. He was after Button in front. Kernahan in towards Garton. Still the chance, but it goes out to Button for Norwood. Over to Hellier. It's loose, and now he overruns it. Garton again diving on it. Whistle has blown, a Glenelg free kick. McDermott. He'd be within kicking range. 45 metres. Just on the edge of the line. Over the shoulder from Garton. He's got it. Top goal. His second, and Glenelg gets back the lead. Glenelg 9-5-59, leading Norwood 8-8-56.
Well, McDermott's kick just not quite making the distance. A pack, several wild kicks. Garton, an impossible position for someone his side. Goals.
20-minute mark, Glenelg by 3 points. Button, meant for Michael Aish. McGuinness getting in the way, rides the bump. Tap to Neagle. Jenkins. Across the ground comes Wayne Stringer. Good recovery by Jenkins. Quickly on to Neagle. Down towards the pocket. Duthie leading O'Dwyer in the race for the ball. Well played, the Tiger. Back towards the wing. Marshall gone early in the back of the Norwood player Jenkins. Free kick on the outer wing.
Well, the spectacular it's all going.
Jenkins easily to Jarvis, who goes long towards the forward line. O'Dwyer setting from behind.
Well, what judgment. He was with Duthie, dropped back a metre, took the lead, the leap, and with 2 grabs, snarled the ball, and he's only 25 metres out.
O'Dwyer has 2. He kicked 10 here about 4 weeks ago. And now he's got his 3rd for the day. Norwood back in front. Norwood 9-8, leading Glenelg 9-5.
Dwyer looking dangerous with those strong hands.
Carey, but beaten by Michael Annie. Salisbury's clearing kick. Down goes Kernahan and doesn't pick up the free as Warhurst sends the Redlegs down towards half forward. Gibbs. Great mark.
Doesn't it look easy with Ross Gibbs?
To centre wing where he sees Simons. In the shadows. This beautiful day at Football Park. Simons picked up Maynard, who goes in short to Alan Stringer. Infield to Kernahan. S. Out to Copping.
Well, Glenelg looking like Norwood ahead of centre, using the ball, maintaining possession. Kernahan getting clear that time of Warhurst to set up Copping.
Copping from 40 metres. He has 2. His 3rd would put them back in front. It's goal for goal at Football Park in the qualifying final as the Tigers regain the lead. 10-5 to Norwood 9-8.
Seaburn taking his time, then heading for Henwood. From behind is Alan Stringer.
Needed to lift Stringer. Played well in the first, but down in the second.
Looking for Salisbury. Simons getting in front. Clever play. Almost a half forward.
Between the 2 base players, they brought it down.
Stephen Kernahan the target. Lovely player to watch. Perfect judgment. Centering it. Looking for Copping. Carey's behind. Long arm to Baum. Just out from the goal square.
2 strong marks to Baum.
This time by hand. The run of Gallagher. Now Jarvis, who fumbles. Allows Glenelg with a chance through McGuinness. Out it goes to Big Garton. He'll line up with a left boot and puts it through. extend their break to 9 points. 12-7-79 to Norwood 10-10-70.
Well, if we had a criticism of Adam Garton in the past, it's been his mobility. But on the left foot that time, obviously looking for the hand pass, but on the left, across the body, a superb goal.
Henwood against Hine. McIntosh gives it back to McDermott. Aish. Low. O'Dwyer slipped. Grabbed gleefully by Duthie. Duthie, a fine hand so far. Maynard has to wait. Andrew Jarvis with the body. Mark-off free kick. And a saw back to Maynard at half-back. The Tigers by 9 points.
Into the middle. Kernahan the target. In front.
Starting to break clear of Warhurst.
Marshall into the pocket. Copping. Couldn't quite hold it, but still going. Straightens up from 45. It's another one to the Tigers. His fourth, and a great start to the third quarter by Glenelg, who stretched their lead to 15 points. 13-7 to 10-10.
The Copping at top pace, those long arms stretched in front, the ball to ground, Winter applying the pressure, Stephen Copping onto the right foot, no pressure for goal.
And we're back on the half-forward area, outside, crowd over there, no doubt, enjoying the contest. Henwood behind with that weight, Ross battling with McGuinness, Ross has gone to ground, Jarvis. It was meant for Taylor. He's got in front, got a bit of a shepherd from McIntosh. Got the eyes right on the football. Tackle from Mallenstringer. Maynard comes through, leaves it behind. Andrew Aish, not quite sure. Now he's got a couple of teammates. Michael Annie out for Ross. McGuinness across. Forced to use McIntosh. Sweats his way through at half forward. Can he kick a goal? He's steadied. Won't get there. Aish, Michael in front. Salisbury dives on top. Payne. Cute angle. He's missed again, but that time it was very acute. But wouldn't they have loved the goal, Neil Barn? They're down by 19 points.
It's Hall to kick the ball back into play for Glenelg. The 16.5-minute mark with the Tigers leading by 19. Desperation football out there. Now they break clear through Maynard. Running through centre. Out wide for Copping. Allowed far too much meterage by Hellier. In short, towards the lead of Garton.
Adam Garton flew. And what a top make. I don't think we've seen Garton play as well as this in league football. Normally a ruckman. Today at full forward. And in superb touch.
Well, the Tigers have lost absolutely nothing with the omission through injury of Thompson. Garton really has filled in well. He's lining up for his fifth. The game of his life, Adam Garton, stretches the Glenelg lead now to 25 points. It's 15-8, 98 to Norwood, 10-13-73.
Clashing several times, hitting Maynard.
Carey, good play over Button, but he only finds Jarvis between the half-back and wing, grandstand side. Glenelg by 24 points. High to half-forward. Plenty of flyers off the hands of Michael Annie, and the big punch coming from Seabohm, who's played a gallant hand for his side. We've got a throw in on the grandstand wing.
Again, it's Button and Carey to Aish. Open spaces at half forward. First to it should be Hall. Trip, but goes across the line. Boundary throw in. An unintentional trap. Carey and Michael Annie this time. Carey out of the air to Gibbs. Punched on there from Payne to Greg Thomas. Oh, good interception, Hall. McDermott. Out wide, David Kernahan, the clearing kick through centre. It's Ross and McGuinness, and bursting through Hellier. Brought down by McGuinness, who goes again. And picks up the free kick.
can't take a trick.
McGuinness on centre wing, and 15 metres will take him almost a half forward. Beautiful spiral torpedo, Kernahan, but off hands. Glenelg 15-8, lead Norwood 10-14.
Big punch away by Simons, finds Taylor, the umpire's gone down. Jarvis has kept going, Gallagher close to the boundary line. Players come from everywhere. That's Seabohm and Michael Annie. Michael Annie wanted to shepherd for Aish. Michael, Greg Thomas on the outer wing. Plenty of movement from Norwood. Jarvis and O'Dwyer there. Duthie behind. Payne, was it too high? Play on, says the umpire. Comes to Neagle, threads the hand pass to Payne. Is he going to be online this time? Gives it to Keith Thomas. It's there! I finally cracked it. He's first. Glenelg leads by 18 points. 23-minute mark. Third term.
Greg Thomas did the hard work further up the ground. David Payne ran in, knowing that he'd missed at least 3 previously, drew his opposition, gave the ball to Keith Thomas, who slapped it on the boot, and Norwood back in the race.
The Tigers have had the better of the third quarter. Norwood taking 23 minutes to score their first goal. Wayne Stringer's kick. Warhurst. Down goes Maynard, who is held. Maynard on centre wing.
Has had a very physical game and has taken lots of knocks.
Over centre half forward, Garton went down. The knock on from Hellier to Gallagher's good. Back to Winter, plenty of time to clear. But no one there. Marshall for Glenelg. He's got plenty of time to run around. Doubles back against Michael Aish when he should have kept going. In short, over Murphy's head. He's got a chance to go again. Into Copping in the pocket. Tackled. Over the shoulder. In towards the square. Almost Jarvis. But Simons the chance over the shoulder. He's got it! Magnificent goal to Simons. The Tigers can do no wrong. And they cracked the 100. 16-8, 104, leading Norwood by 4 goals, 11-14, 80.
Well, you'll have to be the judge as to whether Jarvis deserved the free or the mark. He was in the spot, took the ball to ground, and Simons, from the wing down, snapped truly for his second over his shoulder.
Craig Baum looking for movement. Sends it towards Hine, but Henwood in better position. Been a good game from the former South Fremantle defender today. Towards full forward, Kernahan setting.
Had his name written over that one. Warhurst was in the position to spoil, but Kernahan flew far too high.
Has 1 goal, now kicking from 40 metres, straight in front. Kernahan second, and Glenelg skip away even further. 18 goals 12, 120. 38 points clear of Norwood, 11-16, 82. Michael Annie and Seabohm. Andrew Aish's quick kick. And the clearing kick this time from Seabohm to centre half back. Keith Thomas. It's been paid.
And that's 1 each. Maynard out-marking Thomas earlier in the game, and this time Keith Thomas on top.
Keith Thomas has 1 goal. He's kicking from 60 metres out. Nice looking kick. He's got it. So the Redlegs aren't going to give in without a fight. They move on to 12-16, 88. Trailing Glenelg by 33 points. 18-13, 1-2-1.
Gallagher taking Marshall back. So does the umpire Kinnear. And then the centre. Long lead from O'Dwyer. down to Payne. Good hand pass to Neagle. 20 metres out. It's there. The Redlegs aren't done yet. It's Digby's first. They trail by 27 points. 11-minute mark, final turn.
Yes, one of the outstanding finals in South Australian football, and certainly deserving more than the 25,000 people who turned up. Surely the crowds must increase over the next 3 weeks. Well, the quarter-by-quarter scores show that Glenelg led at every change, although by only 4 points at half-time after Norwood's best quarter of the match. The Tigers kicked 5 goals to 1 in the third quarter and 5 goals to 4 in the final term to win by 30 points. Goal kickers for Glenelg: Garton kicked 6, Copping 5, Stephen Kernahan 4 and Simons 3, the best Copping, Kernahan, Maynard, Garton, McGuinness and Henwood. And for Norwood, O'Dwyer kicked 3 goals and 2 each to Michael Aish, Greg Thomas, Keith Thomas and Taylor, and the best players Keith Thomas, Taylor, Gallagher, Aish, McIntosh and Winter. The reserves qualifying final, which was the curtain raiser to the big match at Football Park this afternoon, and Woodville had a 34-point win over Port Adelaide. Woodville 18 goals 12, Port 13 goals 8. And Woodville meet Norwood in the second semi-final. Port play Torrens in the first semi-final on the Saturday. Next week's league matches: on Saturday we have the first semi, Western Norwood, and then on Sunday the second semi, where North play Glenelg. Well, once again, Daryl Hicks is with us in the studio. Daryl, I really must hand it to you. If I recall correctly, last Friday you selected Glenelg, on Saturday you selected Norwood, and at half-time today you went back to Glenelg.
Well, that just shows you how tight the final series are, and I think any of the remaining 4 sides can win the premiership. But I think I was anxious about Adam Garton playing at full forward in place of Thompson.
What, you were concerned about that, were you?
I was, but by half-time he had proved to be the best game I've seen him play. Perhaps he came of age today, and Coach Corns will be thrilled.
Overall, a great game of football, and really the standard was so much better than yesterday.
Of course, there wasn't the knockout issue, and those skills showed out. But to me, either team could have won today. Norwood had the same number of scoring shots as Glenelg. They simply lacked that little bit of finish and polish, which is normally part of their game.
I mentioned the attendance there, 25,000. I guess the league officials would be a little bit disappointed with that. They would have been expecting around about 30, but nonetheless a great atmosphere at Football Park.
Well, as a commentator, it was easy to commentate, wasn't it? It was such a spectacle, and the fire was on from the first moments. Perhaps the weather was too good and too many other things for people to do.
OK, well, it really was a big day for Graham Corns. Last year as coach of South, of course, he was eliminated in the elimination final. Today, though, he was a winner, and he's speaking here with Roger Wills.
Graham, it looked to be a pretty complete performance by the Tigers.
Oh, it was a good effort. You go into finals games sometimes with apprehension, but I thought our build-up was very good. You know, I was really confident in the team that we'd picked, and although you play against a side like Norwood, which are a good side, so I can only be happy with the way they committed themselves on the ground and the eventual result. It was really good for us.
And they soaked up a lot of pressure in that second term.
Well, you know, we started so well, and I guess you'd be naive to think that you're going to just keep kicking goals and the opposition won't. And Norwood played some really good footy in the last half of the first quarter and the second quarter. So yeah, that's exactly the term we used, that they did soak up the pressure and then sort of got on with their own game again. But it was a very good game, of footy and a pressure game of footy. So you can only be happy when you win it.
And credit to your defence, a feature of their magnificent tackling.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I thought we tackled well all over it, but our defence was, as a unit, was very, very strong. And John Seabone particularly played a very good game on Jim Michaelani, and Chris Toothy did a very good job at fullback, as did Ross Gibbs and Wayne Stringer. So, yeah, the defence played well, obviously.
So many options up forward, but Adam Garton, a revelation.
Well, he's been very unlucky. He's still a young, talented player. He's been around the club for a while, and he's just been waiting for his opportunities. And he never did anything wrong when he was at League Company. He played about, I guess, about 9 or 10 games, and 7 of those were on the bench. So he had to go back to the reserves for a couple of runs. And then with Steve Thompson coming up and playing reasonably well, it made it difficult for Adam to get back into the side, so he really just was itching for his opportunity.
They're a very persistent side, Norwood, aren't they? They force that total concentration.
Well, they do. You look around and there's players running loose, and they use the ball so well, and they seem to find spaces so well, and I was always concerned that they could get back into the game. and they had their opportunities to do it. But I just thought our run today was very good, and our commitment, you know, I know it's an overused word, but I can't think of any other real way to describe it, because that's exactly what they did. They committed themselves very well.
I think there's a feeling around town that this could be the year for the Tigers. Last premiership in 1973. You must be quietly confident.
Well, you know, you've got to be realistic, and I think as soon as you start saying you're confident, you set yourself up there for people to sort of knock you down. But you know, there's still 4 sides left in it, and each one of those 4 sides is a good enough side to beat any of the others on their day. And you know, I'm obviously confident we've got a very good side, but you can only prepare yourself for the next game coming up. And we've got, you know, next week we play North Adelaide, who, despite what people say, are a very, very good side and are still playing, and are playing again good football. So really, you can set the grand final, and winning a grand final is a goal, but I think to dwell on it, you sort of lose a little bit of desperation in your build-up. So plus I don't want to be in the situation that we've been in so many times before, where everyone said, yeah, this is the year you're going to win it, this is the year, and you just take it for granted without really putting the hard work in.
Glenelg coach Graham Corns. Well, Darryl, as we've spoken about then, so often Glenelg have fallen away just before or during the finals, but gee, they must be a big chance this year.
Yes, I think they're more physical. Players like Maynard playing on the ball give them that bit of strength, and Kernahan's a superstar. I thought that Warhurst had his measure in the first half, and yet he took superb marks after half-time. Copping, though, it must be a question mark asked by the Norwood coaches tonight, why he didn't move Rowan Hellier. If it had been an elimination final, I feel sure he must have. Norwood couldn't control Copping.
He really was in superb form. It wasn't just on the forward line today, though. He was picking up kicks everywhere.
Yes, in fact, I thought Glenelg played more like Norwood do in the forward line. Norwood, with Roberts, used space, maintained possession, and today it was Glenelg that played that game.
As far as the Tigers were concerned, it really was hard to find a weakness, wasn't it? They had a couple of players down on form, perhaps, but, you know, very strong side overall. Well,
they were able to interchange Michael Murphy, who's been amongst their best during the year, and Corns, the coach, had all of the cards in his pack today, and he interchanged players, he saved them, he had Motlop to come on and run, and well coached and well played.
A good sign, I guess, was the way they responded in the second quarter. They did seem to be in trouble in the first half of the second quarter, but they showed a lot of character.
Well, 12 minutes into the second quarter, Norwood were back in the game, and then I mentioned on commentary that Glenelg went much closer and more defensive and just slowed the game down a little bit. Carey had a big influence at that stage, and then it was goal for goal until half-time. Glenelg 4 points up at the break.
Well, so much for Glenelg. Let's now hear from beaten coach Neil Baum.
Neil, a disappointing result for you, particularly you got yourself back into the game at half-time.
Yeah, very disappointing. You reckon our blokes had never played finals before. I think they just kidded themselves a bit.
And at three-quarter time, they'd had 26 shots to your 25, yet they led by 25 points. So the bad kicking didn't give you that chance.
Well, yeah, I guess not. One of our strengths is kicking for goal usually, and it was pretty disappointing today. I don't know how that happened, but I think they had control of the game just the same, even though we did kick poorly.
You mentioned that finals experience. It was strange to see Norwood seem to start so nervously.
Well, it was probably one of the worst starts we've had for a long time to any kind of game, and I'm blowed if I know how that happened. I'm disappointed with it, but our second half was probably worse than our start anyway, so we've got a lot of thinking to do.
What sort of things you'll be concentrating on in the next week?
Well, probably kicking into one of our blokes rather than one of theirs, or handballing one of our blokes rather than one of theirs. There's very, very basic errors in our disposal today. We probably, at times maybe we tried a bit much, but I think they've got to take the risks and try things, but it was just very poor.
What about the Glenelg performance? They seemed to be very direct when they went forward.
Yeah, I must admit I didn't take that much notice of their game overall for obvious reasons, but I suppose they've got to win a final eventually, and they did pretty well today. They were very strong, they were at the ball, they were a bit tougher than us around the ball, which they deserve credit for, and they played very well.
What about your injured players like Roberts? Chance to come back in the next few weeks?
I don't know, I'm not too sure about that. He's certainly improved a hell of a lot though.
Okay, Neil, all the best for next week.
Neil Baum still smiling and playing it straight down the middle, as he always does. Darryl, taking nothing away from Glenelg, how much do you think Norwood missed Rocky Roberts?
Well, as I said previously, their forward line didn't function as the unit that they normally do. They had the same number of scoring shots. David Payne, I think, kicked 5 points. ran at the right-hand point post instead of centering the ball. And I think they lacked that little bit of confidence that they get from setting it up, having a set shot, and Roberts kicking 5 or 6 in finals.
What about the ruck situation? It was evident that a lot of their running players, who often do get into the game, didn't get into the game today. Do you think perhaps they were failing in the ruck to win the ball to those players?
Well, I think Hind got Norwood back into the game in the second quarter. I was disappointed with Button's game. He was very physical, but doesn't seem to have the leap. And he's a little bit unsafe with his ball handling now, so they might have to consider John Hall if he can come up. Duncan Fosdyke and Rocky Roberts. Norwood will consider making changes for next week, and they'll concentrate on Payne's accuracy and tightening up Rowan Hellier in defence.
Speaking about the run and maybe also the enthusiasm, do you think that maybe, like Carlton, Norwood's getting that little bit old? They've got about half a dozen players round about the 30-year age mark.
You must be new to South Australia. Never underestimate
I'm not
the
doing
Redlegs. And when their tail's down, they're under pressure, they're at their best. And they'll go away now and regroup. See, Gallagher was supposed to be injured, and I thought he was superb and ran all day, a top game from Philip Gallagher. It was just accuracy and the little thing, they weren't quite at their best, but Norwood will be nasty next week against West.
Weekend 1 of finals been and gone. Another great weekend coming up next week. A couple of top matches, Norwood West and then North Glenelg.
Well, I think, can I make a tip at this stage?
Well, yes, you're welcome to.
A draw in the first one on Saturday. And they're 2 superb games. I'd like to wait until I see those teams next week before we pick, because that's how close I think it will be.
Thanks very much, Darryl, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Fine.
OK, well, that's our program for tonight. Repeating, Glenelg, the winner here in South Australia, Footscray, the winner in Victoria, and there'll be all the VFL highlights of yesterday's and today's match on the winners tonight at 5 to 11. Well done, Tigers. See you next week. Almost up towards centre wing. One hand to Kernahan.
Whoever gets on top could determine the game.
To half forward, Copping. Not quite. The follow-up. Out wide to Simons. From 35 metres. Looks good. Hall. This is Maynard. Now Alan Stringer. Back to Hall. Through centre. Short. Too short there for Kernahan. To Simons. Now McGuinness. Good build-up for the Tigers from 35 metres. Deserved better. High ball from Jarvis. On top mark and defence for Glenelg. Just decided to put it to the outer side to Jenkins, but puts it up towards the timber there. Kernahan. It's Hall to kick the ball back into play for Glenelg. The 16.5-minute mark with the Tigers leading by 19. Desperation football out there. Now they break clear through Maynard. Running through centre. Out wide for Copping. Allowed far too much meterage by Hellier. In short, towards the lead of Garton. Garton really has filled in well. He's lining up for his fifth.